Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Washington football team. Greg Zuerlein's got it teed up, and off we go from Arlington. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. They'll run with Gibson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he stopped immediately there. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Cox. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Back to the ground with Gibson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now back to throw. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
As I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
One more time with Gibson.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. Gibson. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. A great play there. Keeping it himself from a yard out.
And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 7-0.
Washington 7, Cowboys nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This is Tony Pollard. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15.
We got 4. We got 4. Switch. Hatch.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Cameron Curl.
And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here's a give to Gibson.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson.
Touchdown number 22 on the season.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0.
Washington 14, Cowboys nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limited to just short runs, as he can really impact this offense. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Check 15, check 15.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Kill. Hey, 47.
Prescott. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here we go on 2nd and 12. He gets it to Thomas. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. No chance.
Prescott to throw it. Going for the deep ball. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
A handoff for Gibson.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
8 yards to go on 2nd down.
They'll drop to throw. That is incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Antonio Gibson, the intended target.
And it's 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
2nd and 13. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
And he's got it. Touchdown. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 23 here on the year.
And Washington going to add on to their lead. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route, worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Second down, here's Mostert again.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
They'll run right side with Mostert.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. We're going to 53. Hey, kill.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he is all the way up past the 25. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Washington.
We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that one covering an even 63 yards in the air.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shouldering the ball carrier, and down he goes.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he'll get this up only to about the 22.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
6 DBs on the field for Washington on third down.
To throw is Prescott.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott.
That swung out to Mostert.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. but no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Prescott from the gun. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 34. Taking it right down Broadway. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they really won't have much time to work with, just 19 seconds showing on the clock. A terrific running there to start the drive as that's going to go for 15 and a quick first down as well. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Mostert. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2.
Gun. Watch the pass. Here we go.
They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from second and 2 to a tough third and 4.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Let's get there. 52's the mic, boys. 52. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. They were going 53. 26. 26.
Here's Prescott. Forced out to his left. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A handoff running left is Mostert. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Hey, 47. Mike's 47. Come on. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 46.
Now Prescott. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. That catch good for only a couple.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Go, get out there, get out there. Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Mike 52.
Mostert. And that play's not going to get him in as he stops right at about the line of scrimmage. He tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's 3rd and goal. This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal.
Back, back, back. Go to 54, go to 54.
Pollard. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Throwing, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Blake Jarwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Montez Sweat able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22.
You got time right there.
Another try after the first down sack. Prescott flushed to his right. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A nice pick up there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. Now Prescott. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And not the prettiest kick he'll ever have, as this one just does manage to stay inside the right upright and creep over the crossbar. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Washington on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
On play action, they'll throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Daniels. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here's Gibson.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
40 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until the receiver's too close to the sideline and they don't get the yards after the catch.
Hopkins' kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Pollard to return from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down.
Watching your five. I don't think you got it, son. Check 99. Check 99. Hey, 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
62 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They'll try to run with Gibson.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just...
He'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott now. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Prescott on first down. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Cameron Curl.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. The 71 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 50-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Gibson again.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington,
they do get the victory that pushes them over 500 for the season as they finish at 9-8.
And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Dallas,
they go out with a bit of a whimper as they wrap up a very trying 4-13 campaign.
And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around.